30 Odd Minutes is sponsored in part by Digital Dowsing. Who are you powered by?
For the next 30 minutes, we will explore the unexplained. From mysteries beyond our galaxy to ghostly phenomena in our own backyard. We will dive into our psychic abilities and explore everything from conspiracies to the just plain weird. Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. If the truth is out there, we will find it. But only by sheer accident.
All hey! Right. Welcome to 30 Odd Minutes. We are live, and if I look behind me...
Looks cold out there.
It does look cold. We are at the North Pole, gentlemen.
That's why I had to wear a sweater.
It is. It's chilly. And you guys, for our holiday special, are definitely looking festive.
I tried my best.
Nice poinsettia, Matt.
It's tasty.
It is. It is tasty. We are so glad you're with us on a very special holiday mission for 30 Odd Minutes. We're going to explore some Christmas spirits, the mystery and magic of this amazing holiday, history of Santa. Santa's not alone. There's myths and monsters and all kinds of things surrounding him. And we're going to be exploring all of that, and I'm excited.
Are we going to look for Bumble later?
We are.
I want to see if Bumbles actually bounce.
There's a musical number. You don't want to miss this. We sing, we dance. It's going to be totally amazing. First of all, I want to say hello to Julie Monroe. She sent us this photo that's been making its way around the internet. Look at that.
That's creepy.
That's totally my kind of icicle.
That touching you in the back of the neck as you're going out the door, locking the door.
Yeah.
Is Manos around?
Yeah, Manos.
Right.
Manos, the icicle of fate.
The Iceman. So tonight we are talking about holidays, the history of Santa, all that good stuff. Join us in the chat room, too. Go to 30oddminutes.com. You can live chat. I'm watching some, and I know Matt's watching one of the windows as well. So give us your comments, your well wishes, your holiday cheer, because we want to hear it. Now, who isn't out here with us, as usual, is Dr. Drek, because we keep him locked way below.
Yeah, you have to keep him in the lower decks.
It's best. But anyway, let's peek in on Dr. Drek's lab.
Greetings, Oddballs. Dr. Drek here, and Jeff was just here. I'm miffed because he said although he did want a mad scientist on board, which is me, he didn't want one that was actually bat crap crazy. Now he's accusing me of just being purely insane. And he said if I get any more insane, he's going to fire me. And I said, you can't fire me. And he said, yes, I can, because we have a contract. And all right, yeah, I remember signing a contract, so I got it right here. And I've been looking, and I've been studying every little paragraph on this, and I've been looking for a reason for him to fire me because of insanity. And I can safely say that on here, there is no sanity clause. So, no, I didn't mean you. No, don't go away. I didn't mean you. I really want that Red Ryder atomic peace shooter. Oh, please.
Slip of the tongue.
There is a sanity clause.
Yes.
And a Santa Claus, as we're going to discover. Let's take a journey back to 270 AD to the land of Myra, which was modern-day Turkey. There was this guy named Nicholas. Nicholas, born to a wealthy family, grew up, and then sadly he was orphaned at a young age, so he grew up in a monastery raised by priests, entered the priesthood at a young age, and spent his life giving away his wealth. Beautiful, right? Kind of reminds you of nobody we know. No one we know at all. And so he gave away all his wealth. He was known to drop gold coins into the hanging socks,
right?
For dowries for daughters to get married. He was known to throw gold sacks through the windows of the poor and lavish affection on the children and so on, and lived quite a good life. And later was actually canonized, and unofficially first, because the actual canonization process didn't come around until about 1000 AD. But they were naming churches after him and calling him St. Nicholas because of his generosity. Patron saint of children, but also, ready for this, sailors, merchants, thieves, and pawnbrokers. There he is. Look at him. And he made the news recently because people are debating whether he's white or black. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Let that soak in. We have his photo. Can't we just end it right there? He's kind of...
He's from Turkey, I would say he's well-tanned.
He's probably well-tanned, you're right. So a guy from Turkey wouldn't be really lily white, not Nordic white, but wouldn't be really dark either. Kind of somewhere in the middle, like some of us. What? White meat and dark meat. Turkey.
Oh, pun on turkey.
We missed a white meat, dark meat turkey reference.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric, in the engine room, as always. Tonight we're running on jet fuel and candy canes. So it's good. It's been really good. So this guy, Nicholas, from the land of Myra, his legend grows, and then the Dutch get a hold of him, and they call him Santa Claus. Santa Claus, there he is, comes on horseback and delivers toys to all the good girls and boys on St. Nicholas Day, which is December 6th. That was St. Nicholas Day. But he wasn't alone. And this is where it gets a little creepy, a little paranormal. Andrew, who was with him? Or at least the night before?
Krampus.
Krampus. There he is.
Also sometimes spells Grampus with a G, but Krampus as we know him.
That's scary. Look at that.
Yes, he is. He's 1 foot, 1 hoof, usually is how he's depicted.
Right.
But it's his job to come along on December 5th and look for the kids who have been misbehaving and take them away in a basket or a satchel and take them away to his lair to either eat them or punish them or keep them from their parents or whatever, or what have you not. But he is a rather sinister goat-like creature.
Right.
And it's not surprising that he came about from Germanic. Sounds like something the Germanic people would come up
Right.
with.
Sounds like a
They always have that comforting.
They seem to come up with sinister characters in their folklore and their actual history. But quite a kind of a threat on kids. It's like you better be behaving, or Krampus is going to come and beat you with a stick, throw you in a satchel, and take you away.
I love that, and you just saw those postcards. Those are postcards in old, old depictions that go back 100 years.
Yeah.
It's not like someone just made those up. I mean, he was around enough that people,
And to this
about
day, in Austria and even Croatia and parts of that part of the world, it's quite fashionable for young adults to dress up in these hideous costumes
Right.
and parade through the street, with their sacks and their chains, following the tradition of scaring kids into being good.
What I thought was always interesting was that the story, modern day story, says you better be good, or Santa's going to bring you coal or sticks.
Right.
But you never really knew kids that got coal or sticks, did you?
No.
Maybe it's because Krampus took them away, and that was the whole idea, right?
Yeah.
He was not Santa's enemy.
No, he was
Right?
like a helper. He was like, yeah.
He did the dirty work.
That's right.
Good cop, bad
Bad cop.
Yeah. They're both
Yeah.
they both have the same objective. Make sure kids are good. One is just a lot more effective.
Yeah.
Not naming
That's for
names.
sure.
Typical
That's for sure.
duality in religious iconography.
And Matt, Krampus alone, is he the only scary Yuletide figure?
No, you also had Belsnickel.
Belsnickel.
That's a great name. Krampus is a good name, but Belsnickel is a
Belsnickel.
I love that.
When we start our band,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
that's got to be on the short
I think
list.
someone's probably already beaten us to it. There's probably
Jeff
some,
and the Belsnickel.
there's probably some
Belsnickel.
punk band out there.
Yeah, we just do holiday creepy songs.
Yeah.
So who's
Which
the
is what we
Belsnickel?
normally do when we get together and jam anyway.
It's true every time, which is like 3.
Yeah.
But so who's the Belsnickel?
A Belsnickel was a short, stout individual wearing basically furs or disheveled clothes, and he would carry around a stick, and he would basically, you would get the switch if you were a
Right.
bad
Hang your
Jew.
hide.
Yeah, and it's similar to Krampus or Krampus, depending upon
Right.
how you want to pronounce it. But what was different about Belsnickel is Belsnickel was actually a person.
Okay.
Was supposed to be a person, not necessarily a demonic type of
Right.
thing.
And we've got a picture of him too. There he is. Look at him in all his glory.
Kind of
That's
reminds me of the Leatherman, which is a totally
Yeah.
different story,
Oh,
but
that is true, doesn't
It does kind of remind me of the Wandering Leatherman.
So here's the thing. I guess unlike Krampus, you see if you're a kid and you see Krampus coming, checkout time. You're
Yeah,
done.
yeah. That's
there's
like,
no hope.
like you said, he's kind of supernatural and
You're past. You're but there's hope with Belsnickel, right? You're
Yes.
just going to get beat.
Yeah.
But he would also give out the other part of his thing is you could atone by, singing and dancing, and he would be known to throw candies on the floor.
Right.
And if you were too quick to jump at it, you would get the switch. But if you were, a little bit more reserved and showed good manners,
Right.
you would get more candy. So it was,
So this is back to a time where things weren't quite as fluffy as they are now.
No.
This was more. And again, these aren't even the only two, right? We also have Black Peter. Now, Black Peter. Here's a picture of look at there's Black Peter, often seen with Saint Nicholas. Now, there's been some debate, and we're going to throw it out there tonight. I'm here to tell you, Black Peter, a white guy. Sorry. Too soon?
Too soon.
No. Actually, in that case, I'm pretty sure that Black Peter was a white guy.
Yeah.
Just saying. So Black Peter, a lot like the Krampus character, but his in modern times, Black Peter would go and accompany St. Nicholas and would amuse the children, but also kind of there to do some of the dirty work, some of the scolding and so on. So it's really interesting that, especially in the 1800s, we had not one, not two, but three Yuletide figures that were not, you didn't want to see them. They weren't the people you were looking forward to seeing, but they were the yin to the yang. They were the consequence. If you're good, awesome. St. Nicholas brings you candy and presents. If you're bad, you get punished. Maybe you get hit. Maybe you get spooked by Black Peter, or maybe you get carried off and die.
Yeah, because it's funny because by the time I was a little kid and learning about Santa Claus, these characters had basically been phased out, and Santa Claus was just given the ability to know everything about you, and he just snubbed you. Like if you were bad, you weren't going to have anything under the tree. You weren't going to have anything in your stocking. He was just going to bypass you. So it went from this evil, horned creature that would take you away and possibly eat you, to a guy who would toss you a beating, to another guy who might just like tease you and let you know that no, you've been bad, to Santa had all the power. It's kind of funny how that character. Well, for me in the West, being a Westerner living in New England, that character got phased out completely, and Santa had all the knowledge, which I do believe. I was always a good kid. I wanted to make absolutely sure
Especially
I did
December,
nothing to disappoint Santa, because I wanted to get stuff under the tree.
And here's the thing, too. Belsnickel, by the way, has a little bit of popularity in Pennsylvania Dutch country.
Oh, yeah, well, he would with all the Germans and Dutch.
It's I mean, some of these folks made it back over here. And here's the thing, too. I know Krampus, there's been books written about Krampus. I believe there's a movie in the works. And so some of these old figures, these old legends, right, are resurfacing. And it's curious to me. We're legend hunters. We hear stories and we want to know what's behind them, and things like that. And what's so curious is every legend, whether it's Santa Claus or Christmas itself, has backstory. And if you just go back far enough, you can see those roots. For example, Christmas being December 25th.
Yeah.
Was that the day Jesus was born?
No, Jesus was actually born, I think, from what they were able to determine, in the end of August.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I understand it too.
Right, but pretty much all scholars agree not December 25th.
No, correct. But because
that's
we
unanimous.
had the Christians and the Celtics
fighting
over their holidays.
Let's talk about what has happened, what holidays were in December. We know St. Nicholas Day, December 6th.
Right.
But also Yule, the winter solstice.
Yep.
Right? Yep. That was a huge pagan holiday, the winter solstice. Saturnalia in Roman times, which is a huge party, right? Gift giving.
Let's face it, the Romans knew how to party.
Festival of Bacchus,
right?
Ancient Greek times,
They knew how to party. What is it? Natalis Solis Invicti, the birth of the unconquered sun. That was the 17th, December 17th. So you've got this mid to late December being a time of festivals and parties and gift giving and all kinds of crazy things for lots of different belief systems.
Right, because it was the return of light coming back longer.
That's right. Yeah. So the solstice would be the shortest daylight of the year, and then every day thereafter it's getting more so. So you've got Christians saying, well, we got to get in on this too.
Yep.
Right. Now, the earliest reference I found to December 25th was hold up. It's in here somewhere. So December 25th. It goes back to 336 AD. Emperor Constantine declared, Christianity the official religion, and December 25th would be the day to commemorate Jesus' birthday. So it goes back a ways to also throwing this holiday in there as well. And then eventually it just took off. But let's continue with Santa for a minute. So we have Santa Claus on horseback. And then the Dutch come over to New York, which was then called New Amsterdam,
Yep.
And they bring a lot of their traditions with them, including Sinterklaas. And then this guy, Washington Irving, he hears all about these legends and stories, and he starts writing. He wrote a book called A History of New York, and he mentions Sinterklaas by name, and he mentions him coming on horseback and spreading holiday
Just
cheer.
quick note. Now, didn't Santa Claus's horse actually poop in the shoes?
I wasn't there.
I read that some time ago, that supposedly his horse was magical and would poop the gifts in your shoes that you left outside the door. That's what I was taught as a kid many years ago in school in a class on folklore.
That is
I don't
way
know.
better than
The
reindeer.
gifts of the
And some of them
present-
also threw up into the shoes in some of the versions of it. But I always thought that kind of funny. I remember all those kids going, ooh, when we heard that.
If I'm not mistaken, the origin of the presents and the socks had to do with it being wintertime up in the North Country.
Sure.
And you would take your socks
Right.
off and hang them by the fire to dry
dry.
out.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And St. Nicholas would enter through the home and
Right.
leave the gifts in the socks drying on the hearth.
And in some of them, like I said, were shoes out front. But it's just funny. It's different traditions.
Yeah, right.
But magical all the same. You know, horse either throws up or poops in your shoes, and it's toys and candy.
I'd be tough to write a song.
Yeah,
around.
yeah, exactly.
Presents, technically,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be a unicorn?
Yeah, true.
that
But I
would
can remember us all going, ooh, when we learned that in school.
So Washington Irving, right? A guy on horseback. There's another horseback
Yes.
figure that Washington
Yes,
Irving
Irving wrote about. That's what I
wrote
was thinking
about the
about.
headless horseman
Horseman,
of Sleepy
yeah.
Hollow, right? Tarrytown, New York. So Washington Irving is starting to document this figure, and it wasn't much later, just 10 more years. A guy named Clement Moore. Here's his beautiful photograph. Hello, Clement. How are you? Oh, he's almost there. He's coming any second. There he is. Go, Clement Moore. Clement Moore.
Yeah.
There he is. So Clement Moore writes a poem called "A Visit from St. Nicholas," which is better known as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." If only one of us had some deep radio announcer voice and could read just a few lines.
Let's try this. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas would soon be there. I think we all know that. Yeah, it is. It's a great piece. I think we've all had it read to us at this time of year.
But here's the thing. That poem changed everything. Game changer for St. Nicholas, right? Because now he names the reindeer, 8 of them, right? Don or
Yes,
Blitzen,
yes,
although
right.
he names them Donder, and there's slightly different variations. And he arrives on a sleigh, and he comes down the chimney, and he laughs like a bowl full of jelly. He's a big elf-like figure instead of an in-shape, skinnier guy. And he's wearing robes. And so really, this is a huge line in the sand where the story starts to evolve to this guy with supernatural creatures anyway.
Yeah.
That can do this for him. And then it was just a few decades later where we go to 1860. Harper's Magazine artist Thomas Nast drew this drawing, which is starting to look an awful lot like our modern depiction, except this one obviously is high as a kite and smoking something and really blazing up right there. Look at those eyes. He can't even open
He's
them. definitely
flying.
That's how he got
Loaded down with toys and prizes.
That's right. So this jolly old elf that's smoking the pipe and all that other stuff. But the real our modern depiction now finally is cemented in 1931 by the Coca-Cola Company
That's
of
right.
all
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Take a look. Here's the ad. There he is. And what geniuses, right? So the Coca-Cola Company said the world's biggest celebrity, arguably, is Santa Claus.
Yeah.
There are people who, various movie stars and musicians and stuff like that. But Santa Claus
yeah.
is so recognizable.
Yeah.
And so they start using him in the ads, and that's what he looks like. Since 1931, there's been very little evolution.
Yeah, he's basically stayed with that image. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
been Santa Claus. Rudolph was added 75 years ago, the story and then the song.
Yep.
But since then, we really haven't touched on this too much. And it got me wondering, 100 years from now or 200 years from now, will Elf on the Shelf be the new thing? Seriously,
Yeah.
something just has to last a while. And will we be talking about Santa's Elf on the Shelf that moves around each night? We'll be talking about stories like Polar Express,
Yep.
modern day, that get repeated long enough that they become part of the legend, part of the story. And that's what's so intriguing. So, there's people that debate, is Santa Claus real or not? I don't think there is a debate. Of course he's real.
Real, yeah.
Like how
How did those presents end up in my living room every year?
Does something have to be physical to be real?
Well, that's
it.
That's
It's the spirit of Santa.
That's the next place we're going, right? What defines reality, right? What Matt? What's your definition of reality?
Things when you're not on drugs.
So how would you know?
Okay.
Pharmaceutical humor.
Yeah.
He's a chemist, folks.
Reality is something that you perceive, meaning you yourself.
right.
And what my version of reality is completely different than yours and yours because we're each individuals. You can't get any more connected to somebody else's reality because we're distanced. We're individuals.
Right.
So reality is an agreement that we all have about something.
Right.
You know, I can hold up this piece of paper. I say it's a piece of paper. You agree it's a piece of paper. So do you.
I think it's a duck.
Yeah.
Other people may.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And so that's the thing, right? I think you hit it. Perception is reality. I perceive something to be real. It's real. And like you said, the toys are under the tree in the morning. You know, the cookies have been eaten.
Yeah,
The milk
yeah.
has been drunk.
Actually, in my house, it was a slice of pizza and beer. But you know, I was explained to me that Santa would like a break from cookies and milk now and again, and I understood that.
That's probably not a bad
And,
move.
and there was always a slice missing, a little sip out of the beer, so I knew Santa was by.
Little sip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's where there'd be some
Yeah.
deviation probably at my house. I'm pretty sure Santa would leave
Chug.
the empty bottle would be tipped over. And, you know, yeah. So the funny thing, though, is that we've talked before about tulpas, right? The idea of
Yeah.
thought forms.
Yeah.
And we've certainly discussed, in previous missions, we've discussed possession, right? In the Jewish faith, there's something called a dybbuk.
Yep.
And
we
the dybbuk,
did show on
we
that.
did
Yeah.
a show on it with the dybbuk box,
Yeah.
right? But the Jewish faith believes that it's not just bad spirits
That's
can
right.
possess you. It can be good spirits.
That's right.
So
The golem.
right. Well, if you're inclined to smoke or do drugs or to rob a bank, a bad spirit might cling to you
Exactly.
and push you that way. The devil made you do it. If you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to quit smoking, you're trying to get healthy, a good spirit might cling to you and push you that way. Why is it so hard to believe that we wouldn't be possessed by a spirit willfully every December?
To put us in the gift giving.
Right, we're more
Loving
generous.
mood, yeah.
We're kinder to others.
Yeah.
We try to do more charitable acts around this time of year. Willfully participating in this spirit possession, which ends promptly January 2nd. Right around the hangover wear off,
Yeah.
right? And when the first bill comes, that
Yeah.
we have an exorcism, right? And that spirit is gone until next December as soon as you see those credit card bills. But why not? We believe. I mean, I know you guys well enough to say we believe in spirits, right?
Yeah.
We believe there are spirits of
Scotch,
people.
rum, whiskey.
Right, of course. Yeah, they're right under the main console here. But we believe in spirits of people, spirits of place. Why not spirits of season?
Exactly. No, I absolutely follow what you're saying, and I agree with it. Yeah.
You're going back to the old beliefs, the old pagan beliefs. Spirits can be things of nature, like rocks, trees,
Right.
whatever, and also of seasons. So yeah, you're right.
Halloween is our kind of time of the dead,
Right.
We believe spirits walk the earth, and that goes back to ancient Celtic beliefs and so on. You're getting to something, and what's great about all of this discussion is we're getting to something that's really primal. This is the core of it. This is something deep, deep, deep inside, where you're tapping into not only your own family's traditions, where you're connecting with last Christmas and the Christmas before and the Christmas of your childhood, with traditions that were presented to you by your parents who had traditions presented to them and so on. These traditions are really a connection with the spirits of our own past and the spirits of our ancestors and the spirits of everyone around us.
Right.
Even Coca-Cola Company added a chapter to this
Yeah.
story, and it gets us thinking about that. And I think it's just it's an amazing thing when someone says there's no such thing as Santa Claus. I think that's ridiculous. It's if we held up a picture of the guy, Eric, let's take a look again. The Coca-Cola ad. If we brought that picture into any restaurant, any school in America, in North America,
Around the world.
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Kids in the Philippines would know who he is.
and you said, "Who's this?" Right? Who wouldn't say? I mean, you'd find very few exceptions, right? Would
Yeah.
say that's Santa Claus. If you held up a picture of the President of the United States, it'd be nowhere near the numbers
Right.
of people that recognize the president as they would, Santa Claus,
Oh, yeah.
or Brad Pitt, or Angelina
Right,
Jolie, or
right.
any of your Hollywood actors. So the guy is famous. The guy has got backstory that goes back over 1,700 years.
Yeah.
And his spirit possesses us year after year after year. I truly don't understand any argument that could say that's anything but reality.
Yeah. No.
Theoretically based on a historical figure. So
Yeah.
Right.
we
they
know
actually
Saint
lived.
Nicholas was a real individual that lived
And did
in a
these kind
particular
acts,
time.
yeah.
Yes. Who's to say that the spirit of this saint hasn't continued on?
Of course. And I think that's, we're touching on all kinds of wonderful things. More traditions, too. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In 1924, Macy's had the foresight, right? There he is, to put Santa at the end of the parade, which has been a tradition every single year. Santa always brings up the rear. Why? Because it's time to shop.
That's right.
Thanksgiving's over.
Yeah.
It's time to get out there and start.
Great marketing gimmick, yeah.
Start purchasing. Totally genius.
Gimbals should have bought into it too.
I know, Gimbals. Whatever happened to Gimbals, huh? All right, favorite Christmas memory? Guys, got one?
Oh, well, I remember having Santa come to my house when I was about just before my 4th birthday, and I was thrilled. I was told like about 10 minutes before he visited he was coming.
And were you scared?
No, I was thrilled. And he came in his full glory and came and sat in the living room by the fireplace, and I just thought it was absolutely great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
The world's biggest celebrity.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when I got up the next morning, all the gifts I was promised, they were all there.
Amazing.
It was awesome.
Matt?
Probably my favorite memories from Christmas and dealing with Santa was my father dressing up as Saint Nick.
Sure.
Because my father was a rather large individual, so he fit the suit perfectly. He didn't need the padding or anything.
Right.
And we would go over relatives' houses, and he would do this every year, and I like to watch all of the other little kids also, because they would touch him. It's like, this really is Santa, because it's a big guy, and watching the faces of the kids as he would pull out all of the presents for them, And of course, I enjoy getting mine.
Of course. Yeah, I remember the first time meeting Santa Claus, being so excited, running up to sit on his lap, and then getting close and freezing, and going, "Whoa, this guy's omniscient."
Yeah.
He knows when I'm asleep. He knows when I'm awake. He knows when I've been good or bad. And this panic that sets in, like, have I been good enough? Right? And I didn't even know about Krampus. I just wanted to get toys. I didn't even think like my life was hanging in the balance. So and I've watched my daughter now is 6, and Christmas magic is everywhere. And I watch her with Santa, and it's so cool. Again, a couple years ago she was a little afraid, but now she's excited, and she tells him what what she's looking for Christmas and all that other stuff. And the magic is something that I just couldn't imagine denying her, in any way, shape, or form. And I know some people are against Santa. That's okay. It's personal choices, but boy, oh boy, I wouldn't want to live in a world without Santa. Because even if that spirit possesses you just for that one little time period, if it inspires you to do some good deeds, to be a little kinder, that month, to try to behave better, as people, I'll take 1 month over no months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting. I know a lot of people from various parts of the world and various faiths, and I have several of them that thoroughly enjoy the Christmas thing, the whole thing about Santa and everything.
Sure.
It's like, I have a friend that's Jewish and loves to go around wearing, a Santa hat and doing, it's like, I don't care. I'm enjoying the idea behind this.
And he's secular enough now that you can have him. I mean, no one should own him. He doesn't have to be a Christian figure. One of the great Christmas albums, Neil Diamond. Yeah. What a very Jewish Christmas, but he loved the Christmas carols. I remember seeing an interview with him saying they're great songs. I love singing them. Why not? And why not indeed?
I read something recently that Ben Stein had put up about being Jewish and what Christmas meant to him. I thought was, I won't try and quote. I'll get it wrong, but
right.
I remember reading it and thinking, wow, he's absolutely right. It's a special time. It can be shared by everybody.
Absolutely,
it's the feeling.
Everybody loves the lights and the colors and
giving.
And gentlemen, with that, we are right up to the end of our mission.
Wow.
It's time to go get our eat and drink on at the 30-odd Minutes holiday party down in the Lido deck of the ship.
We'll have to slide some food under the door for Drek.
We are not making any New Year's resolutions, right?
No. I'm still sticking with the same one I've had for the last 2 years.
Awesome. Folks, thank you for an awesome year. We will see you next year. Until next time, stay odd.